trading environment. Let's take a very, very simple task like crossing the road. You know, we may think that's nice and easy. We go up to the curb and we cross the road and that's it. But let's analyse crossing the road. We walk up to the edge of the curb and we're standing there and the traffic's coming backwards and forwards, and there might be a big highway, whatever. But we have to get across that road. We will be unable to do something until something happens in us. And that something is given birth to a belief. The belief that we can make it to the other side, or at least to the central reservation. Let's say there's a halfway point. At least we believe we can get across there. Now, if we could be standing on a public crossing area and still standing there and unable to move. We see the traffic coming until we create that belief. So at the point of creating the belief, we can cross the road. We can then take that step and literally go across the road. Now, take a little example of this and understand how beliefs work as well on the masses. I'm sure you've been in this situation. You're standing on the side of the road, you're waiting to cross. Traffic's going up and down, up and down. There's loads of other people there beside you and they're waiting to cross, and you're looking around and you're not ready yet. And somebody else near to you steps out and they go to cross the road and you go to join them. And as you go to join them, what happens? How do you feel? How do you feel? Because that is a vitally important thing for you to keep in mind as a trader. How do you feel? You feel uncomfortable because the belief was not born in you. It was created in you by another person. The other person stepped out and you weren't entirely ready. So you leapt forward there and you felt a little bit uneasy as you went across. And then maybe you went across, or maybe you didn't. You backed off and he went across or she went across and you didn't. And you see, so their belief was born before you. And it was the belief that crossed the road that enabled them to then cross the road, as it were. Very important. Keep in mind that story when you're thinking about trading, as you'll see later on. Now, so that's the sort of birth of a belief. I'll give you an example. The birth of a belief that allows you to cross the road. The next thing is that my horse, I've got written down here, and I don't actually have a horse, but my horse. And let's just take yourself, you know, I'm not a gambling man, but, you know, certain times I might have a bet on the Christmas type of thing on a certain horse or whatever, but I just picked a name, whatever. But you know, we look at the you know, we go to a dog track or whatever it is. We go to a horse track and we say, okay, I'm gonna bet that horse. I like the name of that horse, and so at that point there, you say, right, that's the one for me. You mark on the box and you pay your money across. Now, what happens at that point? Now, nothing's happened to your horse. Your horse is exactly the same horse that it was 5 minutes ago. But suddenly in your mind now, your horse is the best horse. You believe your horse is going to win. It takes on a completely new development. So the initial belief was, well, that's the one I'm going to bet on, that's the one I win. And now suddenly it's going to be good. You know, you look at the horse and you see it trying out on the track and you look at your horse, there it is, there's number 8. Let's say it was number 8. There we go, that's my horse number 8. And you look at this horse and you focus in on it and it becomes the best horse on the track. Suddenly everything's good about this horse, and yet nothing has changed with the horse, nothing at all. It's only your belief. So life and death. So, sorry, just finishing up on that. So crossing the road, the birth of the belief, okay? As we take on a belief, it becomes stronger, okay? And then we get more hooked into that belief. And then we come to the life and death. So giving life to the belief, you might say, these two. And then we have the death period. Now let's take this as a horse race. I think it's a good example. The horse starts off number 8 and it's in the lead and it's doing well and doing great. And so as it's doing more and more, so your belief gets higher and higher and stronger and stronger and stronger in this, and gradually it drops back off, and the horse comes in, last, and there's the death, and that's the end of the race. But that period of time running through the race, whatever it is also how we function, how our minds function in terms of beliefs. Especially in the market. We can actually take a trade in the market and we can say, okay, the market's going to go up from here, this is where I believe it's going to go. We take that trade, we believe that trade, and the market starts to go off, starts to move up, and our belief becomes reinforced. We feel stronger, we feel better about that, we feel good about it. And what happens is here we say, yes, we convince ourselves it's going to go up. Often at that point then we'll move a stop up closer onto it because now it's not going to go back, it's going to go up. And then eventually the market starts to come down, and what happens then is we get challenged, our belief gets challenged. So forget about the price now. Forget about the market price and think about what's actually going on within you as a trader. It's not price that's being manipulated. It's your belief about price that's being manipulated. And that is the essence what we're talking about here, that when we're talking about market maker manipulation, we're not talking about price, although price is the form, the content. The thing behind there that's being manipulated is your belief about future price. And belief is a lot easier to manipulate when you're talking about the masses than it is price. Once you can get to manipulate beliefs, you can get people to act in certain ways. If you believe you're going to win in this trade, then you will be willing to put your money into the market at this point. If you believe you're going to lose, you will not. So by manipulating beliefs, the market makers have control of you, control of the masses, and control of the market. Not by manipulating price, but by manipulating belief. Some core principles to set you free. The use of trading history to predict the future is flawed. Developing fixed strategies is a delusional pastime. Traditional technical analysis is the blind leading the blind into a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, contrary to popular opinion, the markets are not complex at all. The global markets are a highly efficient and yet simple money-making machine that you can tap into.